Yo, what is good, guys? So I'm gonna keep this video fairly short, but essentially it's gonna be about how we can never really truly prepare for a social interaction or scenario to play out. What do I exactly mean by that? So let's say, for example, you go out a lot, right? You go out a lot and you always have fun. You go out, and you have fun. And you start to see patterns, right? You're like, hey, I notice if I say this, I usually get that reaction. Or if I do this or do that, I get a certain reaction, different reaction. But I see a pattern. That's all cool and dandy, but there's gonna be interactions, situations where you've never encountered, so you're not prepared for that situation. And when that occurs, your brain is like, oh shit, I'm not prepared for this, right? And how do I know this? Well, think about it. If you go you meet different people, you go to different places, right? There's just so many opportunities, or I wouldn't say opportunities, so many different moving parts that it's very hard to be sure something's gonna play out because you just don't know how it's gonna play out. And so you can't really truly be prepared for all the scenarios possible. The only best thing you can do is prepare your improvisation on how you react to these certain situations and calibrate accordingly, right? Unless if you don't, you end up making it really awkward, right? And so I thought about this because I'm like, man, like for example, a scenario happened today where I was not prepared. It's simple as a handshake. I was not prepared, and it just flew off like really funny. And I'm like, God damn it! Like I did that shit. Like that was so goofy. But you just have to be prepared in a way where you won't know what's going to happen, but you need to improvise and calibrate right away. And so I'm thinking about it. How can you practice that? What's the best way to practice that? To improvise? Well, there's one way with a free association when you're speaking, right? When you're speaking, you can free associate, finding words that are similar and topics. So like, for example, we talk about watch, cool, time, earth, steel, calculate, or whatever it is. You think of these 5 words when you think of words. That's free association. But I'm trying to think if there's another way that you can use in terms of improvising, And I'm just sharing my experience, guys. It's just very fascinating to me. And I guess the only best thing I can think of is how can you practice improvisation? Well, it's very interesting. Improvisation with body language would be really interesting, right? Because it was a handshake. It wasn't necessarily a word thing. But the best way to respond to that would be having a word or phrase to accompany that interaction. But anyways, you can never truly be prepared for every single interaction. Yes, you might find some patterns, and you can find some ways that we can be like, yeah, I know what happens usually, what happens here, what happens there. But you can't be prepared for these kind of unexpected scenarios. So just be aware of that. And I guess the best thing to do is put yourself in a lot of situations, just an unbearingly amount of situations where you're meeting people, so that you will actually be way more prepared than if you weren't prepared. That's the best thing I can think of. But it's just a thought for today. I wanted to share this content, so let me know what you think. Drop a like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, we go from there, guys. Peace.